Hey y'all, welcome back. Again, my name is Aiden Cushing with Rabbit Run Games, and this is part 3 of a tutorial series on real-time location-based. The last video in the series created the look effect, but it's still a bit rough around the edges. In this tutorial, we'll be making sure that the head turning looks natural. If you haven't watched part 1 or 2, I'd heavily suggest doing that first. We're almost there, y'all. This next part is incredibly simple, but it makes a massive difference in feel. This may not be the technically correct way to do this, I'm sure there's a more efficient way, but making this tutorial is actually my first experience with animation in Unreal, so if you have a better solution, please do let me know in the comments or on Twitter at RabbitRunDev. For this last part, we're going to take advantage of frame delta, a value that describes the length of time between the previous frame and the current frame, and another public float variable we're going to call lookSpeed. With lookSpeed created, we're going to go back to the event graph and drag off of the event node at the beginning of the thread, which has an exposed float variable describing the frame delta. Drag close to the logic we built last time and create a reroute node since we're going to need a few different references to this variable, and reroute nodes just make everything easier to read. From this reroute node, we'll need a float times float node, and we'll plug in the frame delta and the look speed. For the default value, I found that 2.0 looks very natural. However, if this variable is made public, you can actually change the character's look speed. For example, if the variable is raised, the character will look around more frantically as if they're anxious. This feature is something I'm definitely going to have to experiment with further, and I even have an idea for how this logic could be applied to a gun mechanic as well, so stay tuned for that sometime in the future. From here, we'll be modifying the alpha value by a positive or negative amount depending on the isValid statement from the last tutorial. If the actor is valid, we'll want to add the value to the alpha, and if it's negative, we'll want to subtract it. For the sake of consistency, it's also important that we clamp this float value within a range of 0 to 1 so that transitions aren't late or early. And with the addition, or subtraction, of this float value, we have smooth head transitions. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this tutorial served you well. For future installments in this tutorial series, please click the link in the description or the card on screen, and feel free to subscribe for more tutorials, devlogs, and future projects.